bullshit.
And this is the Young and Getting It Podcast. Just so you know, you can find us on Apple Podcasts. Just search Young and Getting It Podcast. There's no G at the end of getting. Please subscribe, rate, and review. We're also on SoundCloud.com/WeAreYAGIP. Please follow and comment on there. And thank you for all the listens. And we're also on YouTube. Just search Young and Getting It Podcast with no G at the end of getting. You'll see the cartoon version of us. And subscribe and comment on there. And thank you for all the comments.
And you can also find us on Instagram at YAGI_podcast, or you could go to our website, which is www.weareyagip.com. And then if you would love to join the conversation, you could hit us up on our email, Ashleyandninapod@gmail.com, or you could text us or call us and leave us a voicemail on our Google Voice number, which is 323-486-3811.
Back to the bullshit. Yeah, oh my gosh, The Lion King is about to come out. When you guys see this, Lion King will have just came out. So I don't know when I'm going to see it because y'all know I work a lot.
Yeah,
but I'm going to, because my theater right by my house, they do $5 Tuesdays and Thursdays. So I'm going to try to find, I'm off on Tuesday. So I'm probably going to go.
She's going to see it Tuesday?
Probably going to see it Tuesday. I don't know if I want to be in the theater alone, but I've recently learned every time I do shit alone, it's always fun.
Yeah.
So I might do that alone as another first time doing something alone. So I'm going to try to see it, and we'll talk about it in a week or two because, since it's selling out like crazy too. So it's like I don't even know if I can get tickets because obviously people are going to get all the tickets for $5 Tuesday, because $5.
If they even allow it to be on $5 Tuesday.
Right.
You know how they be doing that janky shit.
Right.
Like, it can't be new movies that came out this week.
Mm-hmm.
Well, technically, it came out last week on Tuesday. So...
Bloop.
Yeah.
Bloop. But, if you guys have seen the commercials on TV, Beyonce's voice, Jesus. Like,
I need to hear
her and Childish is the perfect voice for Simba. Like, he just has a soft, pleasant.
I heard him talk. Like, in all the commercials I saw, it was only the father talking.
Yeah, Simba, yeah. He sings with Beyonce, but he even said in an interview that, like, he could not do it in the studio with her because she was way too intimidating. And when I heard the commercial, I was like,
Right. Okay,
because Beyonce's out here sounding like a goddamn queen, and she is not the main character. She's out there sounding like the fucking main character.
I mean, she's Beyonce.
Yeah.
Did you see those people complaining about how she closed what's that big crack in the earth in Arizona? This is going to sound so stupid.
Oh, yeah, she closed the Grand Canyon.
Yes.
Yeah.
She closed the Grand Canyon to make her video, and people were like complaining. And then I saw like tweets about it, and somebody was like, "Yeah, Beyonce came up to me and she talked to me and she told me that she was having her video, and she said it was time to leave. And you know what? We went home because Beyonce said so. Like, it was like the dumbest shit. Like, people were just lying about it.
Yeah.
But I'm like, honestly, it's Beyonce. Get over it.
You know how many permits and shit her team had to get to do this? They paid the city.
You're renting a piece, like a national
piece of
monument.
land. Yeah, she paid the city for that time slot.
She's paying to rent something you can see from like an airplane.
Yeah, right.
Because I remember I saw it from the airplane one time. I was like,
oh
yeah,
what the fuck? I have seen it only once from an airplane.
Hella pretty.
Yeah, and it's super big, and you're like, holy fuck,
like, that's
shit.
the Grand Canyon.
Yeah, and
that's
it's
why
like,
I got that name.
If you think about it, the city probably gave her team a discount on it because they're like, we want to
discount
because they want to say like Beyonce's been here, just like Drake probably got a discount on that plane. Like,
you're right.
Yeah, because he's the face of the company, so stuff like that.
OVOXO, my girl at your neck, at my neck.
I haven't done the old people face thing because it's not going to be representative of what I'm going to look like when I'm old because black don't crack.
Yeah.
And I'm African.
My sister did it to me. I was like, you rude as fuck. I was like, if you don't take this shit down, because I can't.
It's owned by Russians.
I mean, honestly, look, it's on Facebook. Are we surprised? That's why, like, all these people that are like, oh my God, the government, they're just trying to get your face. Look, bitch,
they got
with
your face.
With all the motherfucking cameras in the world,
right?
With the fact that your laptop watching you, your fucking cell phone is watching you,
and
you
listening.
think you making your face fucking old on a fucking Facebook fucking app is gonna be gonna make that big of a difference?
Our phones read our minds.
Exactly.
Like, we're past the hiding your face.
Exactly.
If you have a driver's license, a passport, a student ID, which
if
we
you
have
have
like
been
4.
outside, fuck that. If you have gone outside, if you have gotten a traffic ticket, or if you even gone through like the fucking fast pass or some shit, your face is somewhere. Get over it.
I just remember something so funny. Remember, okay, you'll know who I'm talking about. I'm not going to say her name. The crazy friend we used to have who was blacker than all of us.
Okay, I know who the bitch is.
I remember one time she said she ran a red back when they had cameras. Because, you know, they removed all the cameras because of privacy rights. I mean, there's barely any cameras anymore.
There's some in Los Alamitos.
Yeah, like, it's like depends on the jurisdiction. There used to be so many more cameras.
My brother used to get tickets in that shit all the time.
I remember her saying she ran a red with the camera. And she said as she was crossing the intersection, she had a bottle of alcohol and a blunt in her hand.
Oh, fuck.
And I'm like, what type of hood shit is that?
Did she get more than one
ticket? I think they didn't, like, piece it together. I think she just got the regular traffic ticket. Because it's like, there's a picture of her driving with shit.
Okay, you just made me remember some real dangerous shit we did, like, when we first turned 21 with some of our old friends. I don't know. We were driving to Hollywood and we had a bottle. We were celebrating somebody's birthday and we had a bottle and that person was driving and like taking shots out the bottle.
I feel like I might have been there. There's a lot of.
And we wasn't even close to Hollywood yet. Because you know where we lived. We lived in Rancho. That shit ain't close. We was maybe like just on the 210. Not even at the 57 yet. Yep. Bitch.
Stupid shit.
Nigga. I'm like, and when we were doing it, she was like, oh my God, this is so dangerous. And we were like, yeah, I know. And we were like taking pictures and shit.
God.
Like in the car driving. Thank God I did not fucking die.
I remember I had to hop out of a car one time when I was hanging out with this stupid bitch from one of my last jobs. She was hanging out with some other nigga. And when I got to, she drove a nice Mercedes. You know, she was older, like 36 at the time. And so she had her friend with him. I was assuming he was probably in his 30s too. I didn't know. And then she had him driving, and I was like, okay, like I hate when bitches have niggas drive their car. I hate when niggas drive
because they be driving fast as fuck.
If it ain't your boyfriend or the nigga you been talking to forever, he shouldn't be driving your car. No. But she just let anybody.
No, better yet, if he's not on your insurance,
I know
he shouldn't be driving your shit.
But the people can't even do that much. You know, think about the world we live in. People ain't doing that. But so he's driving her Mercedes. Come to find out, he was like 25. I was probably 24 at the time, but he was 25 with 2 kids. You know, niggas like that. This nigga immediately starts doing lines of coke as he's driving, like sniffing coke and like.
I thought you were gonna say swerving on the lines. You said doing.
Nigga
coke
was doing
while
coke.
Driving.
He was
How
doing
do you do coke while you drive
and taking shots of alcohol.
What?
He would put it. He had it on a piece of paper. Was just as he was driving, and then I was like, should you? I said something like, I think I said something like, should you be doing this? He was like, don't worry, because he was already in a coke rage.
Nigga, you're driving.
And then I was like, give me the fuck. I said, get me the fuck out of this car. And the stupid girl was all like, oh, no. I said, bitch, what are you talking about? No, this nigga's doing lines of coke. He did like.
And why you gonna let him drive while he doing coke? Was she doing coke too?
And this nigga got mad, so he goes on the engine. I said, get me the fuck out of this car. I know I should have, but I called my friend, and my friend came and got me.
Like, excuse me, I'm in a car.
He might have just tried to kill me because he sped off in her car.
And oh my God, there's this case I saw on Yahoo News. You just reminded me about this girl. She was like 17 and she had a 21-year-old boyfriend, and they went to some concert or some shit, and apparently they got in a fight at the concert, and like the fight escalated on the way back home. And so they get home and they're arguing.
Thank God they got home.
This nigga stabs her in the neck and kills her, and then takes pictures of it and posts it.
He took pictures of her body?
Took pictures of it immediately after it happened and posted it on the internet. And she was like some like influencer or some shit. And he like posted her pictures on the internet.
Saying what? Like, oh, my bad?
No, like, I killed this bitch. Yeah. And like her mom like heard about it that way. Like, oh no, I hope like, and she was like, imagine thinking like, some like you hear this rumor that there's pictures of your daughter dead on the internet, and you're just hoping in your heart that it's not true. And then you go and you look, and the pictures are real,
and it's your daughter.
She's like, your heart breaks, and everybody's sharing it. Like people started sharing it instead of reporting it. Yeah, the world we live in, bitch. The world that we live in.
Like, shouldn't you go to jail for sharing?
Not.
Remember when that crazy black guy was had a fight with his girlfriend? He was on a rampage. He walked outside and shot that on Thanksgiving. Shot that old man in the head on Facebook Live. It was like a whole thing. And then he was on a chase. And then like a McDonald's employee recognized him when he was ordering it. So she called the police. And so he got surrounded by the police and shot himself in the head in the car, killed himself. And that video, it was one of the many videos of people dying that were at that time when people were showing on like Philando Castile and
because I don't be clicking on that.
I didn't watch it. And so many people watched it.
Like, okay, so it's stupid, but I could look at like old murders that happened and want to see the crime scene photos. But if it's like something recent or if it's like a live video of somebody dying, I'm not gonna watch it. I can't.
The Philando Castile bothered me deeply.
Yeah,
like I can see the whole video in my head without ever having to see the video again. It was good. So because you watched the man dying.
Like some movies are already violent enough. Like Rashad and I just watched this movie last night where like this dude gets shot in the head. First 5 minutes of the movie, somebody gets ran over by a car, and like when it happened, I was like, oh fuck. And he's like, rewind it. I was like, damn, I can't watch that again.
He was like, I gotta look away. You rewind it
because he had missed it, so I had to rewind it.
Oh my god. Oh my gosh. Random thing that this is not even new, but I don't know if you've heard the episode of My Favorite Murder. It's a live show where Georgia actually says, this is old, like kind of old, where Georgia actually says her therapist committed suicide.
Her therapist did commit suicide. I keep thinking like to bring that up to you, but I'm like, you talk about
I kept forgetting.
It's like, so who do therapists go to?
That's what Charlamagne always says. He said, who's the therapist?
Another therapist.
But I'm like,
is it like a therapist support group of therapists?
You know how shook I would have been if I went to a therapist because someone in my family died
and
then
you're
my
helping
therapist
me
killed
and then
themselves.
You kill yourself?
Nigga, I would spiral.
And she just got a new therapist. Like she went to, not like, she just got another one. But she got a new therapist and like she's been going to that therapist and talking about that.
I'm sure because it's like the person who was helping me killed themselves.
It's like, damn, like I thought my problems were bad. Like what was this bitch going through?
And it's not the first time I've heard something like that either, where the therapist has killed themselves. And it's like, also taking in everyone else's troubles and everyone else's problems and then having their own problems.
What show is that? There was some show with some therapist and somebody was asking like, how do you separate yourself, and like have you ever cried with like one of your like with one of your patients? And the person was like, yeah, there's been moments where I'm just like had to like take a step back and like clear my mind. Was it on
Was it Breakfast? No, okay.
Or was it
Breakfast Club? I feel like I heard that on Breakfast Club.
It might have been Breakfast Club somewhere in New York. I know it was like a New York based like podcast or radio or something.
I definitely heard that. And I was like, well,
fuck.
Yeah.
Damn.
That's troublesome. Oh, Diddy's bringing back Making the Band.
Oh no.
Which is like, think about it though. I did like all the groups.
Me too, but it's gonna be so funny.
It's gonna be funny.
I'm like,
shit.
I don't have cable.
He treats them like shit.
Yeah.
Because the first the band was the shit. They were like everything to me. And then Danity Kane, I almost cried when they broke up because they were my favorite. And then fucking what's the boys one called?
I don't remember.
Fuck.
I barely remember Danity Kane. I don't remember what they were called.
That's so stupid. I should know.
But I remember what they looked like. Well, two of them looked like.
Yeah.
I remember what Q looked like, and then that other nigga.
That fine nigga.
Yeah.
That's fuck. His name is coming and going.
Oh well.
Last story.
It's evaporated.
The guy who killed Eric Garner is gonna face no time in prison.
Are we surprised?
And remember, Eric Garner was the one where he put him in the illegal chokehold, and his mom said 11 times, "I cannot breathe."
But cops don't be believing that shit
because they be thinking it's should just get you to
get
stop.
out. But it's just like, honestly, I'm not surprised, sadly, because like this shit has happened so much. Like this is just generally this is how it goes. It's
unfortunate. Like, we're animals to them. We're animals and we're vicious and we're strong and they just have to kill us.
Everything's a threat, and then they always have to find another reason. Like they'll stop us for a bullshit reason and then find another reason once they stop you. Like, is that marijuana I smell? That's their favorite fucking thing.
Oh yeah,
their favorite.
They say it even if they don't smell marijuana. They do that just to get an in.
And it's like, you don't have to let them search your shit.
Carlos Miller was talking about that because he knows for a fact they're going to say, I smell marijuana. So when he starts to get pulled over, he throws all his shit right in front of him on the dash. And so when he's like, officer, it's all right here. Would you like me to grab it or would you like to? Okay.
See, that's what scares me because, like, most of the time, like, when I'm going to work or, like, coming from work, my wallet's in my backpack. Like, because I carry my backpack into work. So it's like, what if I'm like, like, my backpack in the trunk has my wallet in it. Do you want to get it or you want me to get it?
Right.
And it's like, I ain't trying to get out the car.
When I go in my glove compartment, I'd be like, it's in my glove compartment. Am I allowed to reach for that?
I saw this nigga. He was Asian. and he was getting stopped by a cop, and he had his hands on the windowsill like this. And I was like, that's smart as fuck.
On the windowsill?
Like on, yes.
On the door?
Yes, on the door. So it's like if somebody, like he has witnesses, like, look, my hands was on the fucking side of the motherfucking car.
Touching you, basically touching the police officer.
He was just like,
yes, sir, what you need?
Yeah, all right, yeah.
Am I allowed to move my right hand?
I would get it wrong. I'm dyslexic as fuck. I'm like, can I move
That's
my right hand? Like,
nigga,
that is not funny.
I've heard a cop be like, I'm gonna light you up. Like,
yes,
cops are
they be
fucking.
like, I swear to fucking God, man. I swear to fucking God. I watched a video this week, and he was like, man, I fucking swear, man.
They do that.
But that nigga was dragging him on the side of the car. So,
whoa.
The fact that nigga didn't get shot is a miracle. Because he was dragging him on the side of the fucking car. Did you send that shit to me, or did I just watch it?
No.
Oh. Yes, this nigga dragged him like down the freeway on-ramp onto the freeway.
Nigga, you trying to die? Every cop do be saying, nigga, I'll light you the fuck up. I'll kill you, nigga. Oh, not nigga, but I think if they're black, they do say nigga.
Bitch. They say nigga in different ways.
Fucking nigga, yeah. Fucking black.
The fact that you got stopped, they calling you a nigga.
Right, you fucking nigga. You got weed in the car.
You said nigga,
I swear to God, you nigger. That's horrible. Because it does happen.
Yeah.
That's the sad part.
But you know you got to laugh through your pain, man.
I'm going to laugh about everything because we only have one life, you know? Yeah. Gotta stay positive.
Positivity and shit.
Yeah, peace, dude.
Okay, getting back on topic. Okay. The last thing that I want to talk about was fucking Elon Musk and his microchips. Did you hear about that? Oh, he's like making microchips to implant in people's brains that would be controlled by Bluetooth. But yes, I know. Listen, hear me out though. Listen. So
all right, so boom.
Well, all right, so boom. So he's trying to make microchips for people's brains, like with people that have like Parkinson's disease or like Alzheimer's disease, let me say it right, dementia, or like people that have lost their limbs so that they could get prosthetics and control the prosthetics like with their mind.
Shit.
That's that shit I wrote about for my fucking remember I wrote about that for my fucking
like final paper thing?
No, for what's that statement shit for college?
Oh, statement of interest?
Yes.
Yeah.
Or that whatever that shit
they
is.
They call it many things.
I don't know.
That.
About me, bitch.
Yeah, right.
Right, my plans and aspirations.
Why the fuck you want to come here?
Right, exactly. So I wrote about that for that shit, and he's trying to do that shit, and that's why I'm like, I might apply to your company, bro. But I'm like, okay, while it sounds scary, it also sounds beneficial. And then on the other hand, since I work in medical, they already have devices that they implant in people's brains that have Parkinson's disease that stops
and Tourette's
them.
And shit, right? Yeah.
And it helps stop the shaking. True. It's called a deep brain stimulator. Like this shit already exists. He's just like kind of adding a different purpose to it.
Right.
And then the weird shit that this nigga's trying to do is like, I don't know if CNN was right, but CNN was saying it'll have like a little Bluetooth like thing that connects to your ear that can connect to a phone. And I'm like, hey, I mean, you know, whatever. And he was trying to say like it'll help people that have those deficits or like help people like intertwine with AI. And like all these people are like, nah, man, no. I'm like, look, they already have shit they put in people's brains to help them.
It's already happening.
Like as long as they don't use it for the evil, which they probably will, because this is America,
right? Then it's
fine. But I'm like, I'm partially against it, partially like I'm real interested in this shit. I want to see how it works.
I trust Elon Musk more than other people too. Right? You know,
but he got a weird ass fucking girlfriend.
He's a weird nigga. Like I was listening to Joe Rogan, and he said when Elon Musk doesn't get excited by normal shit because he's rich. He said that nigga had a flamethrower in the backyard and was like, whoa.
No, did you see when your cousin went to the launch of the Tesla tunnel and he had that flamethrower?
My cousin John?
Yeah, he had that flamethrower at the launch of that thing.
He loves the flamethrower. Yes. He fucks with that flamethrower.
That's his shit. He probably be cooking his steaks like that.
Or he does arson, and he's one of them arsonists in California, and we just don't even know.
Man, if he is, fuck him.
Where's his job based? In California?
San Francisco, yeah. That one, Neuralink is in San Francisco. Of course, Tesla is in Carson. It's not in Carson.
It's in L.A.?
It's in L.A. I've driven by it.
I had no idea.
No, SpaceX is.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
okay,
SpaceX is in L.A. And then Tesla? I don't know where Tesla is. Tesla has to be in Silicon Valley.
My sister's going to get a Tesla. I was like,
word. Okay,
but she's going to get the 30 one.
Man, and when I get in the position, I'm going to give up my golf and get one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I already decided.
I have to get 2 houses before I get a second car.
Yeah.
I can't.
No, that's why I said when I get in the position. Because it's not happening right now.
Yeah, and I'm going to get a fucking lowrider. Like, I'm going to get a ridiculous-ass candy paint car. Like, I'm just going to be like, at one of my residences. I mean, when the market crashes, let's hope I got money.
Right.
I'll buy your house off of you. What was I about to ask? Oh, where was the biochemistry job located? San Francisco. San Fran too.
Yeah. I know. I can send it to you. I already sent one of them shits to myself because I was like, oh, I qualify.
Like,
partially.
Anyone who knows me knows, like, I will take any job that gives me money. Like,
right?
What do you mean?
That's all I'm looking for. You got the right price, I'll do it.
Yeah.
And you know how people be like, oh, so you'll do anything for money? Quite frankly, yes.
Other than hoe, yeah.
About anything but that.
Hoe and
pay up.
Hey, hoe and crime. That's the only shit I won't do.
Fake.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Nah, I'm like, no motherfucking money.
I had the revelation that I've managed to spoil myself.
Yeah.
I'm not going to stop.
I'm not going back.
Like, I've literally been able to take care of myself. That is an accomplishment, and that took a lot of work. I ain't going back, nigga.
Broke, nigga. Fuck out of here.
I'll work 4 jobs. I mean, I have 4 right now for including this podcast, and it's alright. I'm good. I slept 3 hours this afternoon, and that's an accomplishment.
It be happening like
that sounds crazy.
Whatever.
But hey, and that's all.
Yep.
Time for commercial break.
Hey guys, interrupting the conversation very quickly to bring you a Black Business of the Week. This one actually, I guess, hits a little close to home. I'm not a nurse, although I work in healthcare. So this week, we have the brand Profashional Nurse. That is hard to say.
I have seen that one too.
Yeah, and you can find them on Instagram. I'll spell their name since I even got it wrong right now, which is PROFASHIONALNURSE. And their website is the same. It's www.profashionalnurse.com. So on this website, there are 2 women named Shireen and Jasmine, as known to their audience as the professional nurses who spread positivity, encouragement, and advice through their Instagram page, Professional Nurse. Both Shireen and Jasmine attended Bethune-Cookman College of Nursing and earned their Bachelor of Science in Nursing in 2012. Unknown to them, a college friendship would soon turn into unforgettable travel nursing experience that initiated a gateway to inspire others. So on their website, they have Some Nurses Shop Too Much t-shirts. On the 8th day, God created nurses. And then the one thing that like really caught my attention is the stat pack. So it's basically like a fanny pack that you wear at work. And if you work in healthcare, you know almost everybody wears fanny packs. That's really about that life. Mm-hmm. So they have a stat pack, which is only $25 right now, guys.
And it's cute.
It's on sale. And so in this stat pack, there's a phone compartment, a pen compartment, needle compartment, marker compartment, pins, and it wraps around your waist like a fanny pack. So this helps you keep your things organized while you're working when you're a nurse, because if you're a nurse or you work in healthcare, you know you need a lot of stuff, and they don't put pockets on scrubs. Like, a lot of scrubs don't have pockets. So you guys, I really advise you to check them out if you're in healthcare, and if you're not in healthcare, refer it to somebody who is, because they could use this and they'll be supporting a Black business. So you can find them on Instagram at Professional Nurse. I'll spell it again, PROFASHIONALNURSE, and their website is the same, www.profashionalnurse. So it's basically Profashional Nurse. So like Profashional Nurse. I just want y'all to get it so y'all can get this stuff. So yeah, be sure to check them out, guys.
It'll be in our description.
Yeah, back to the program.
Hey guys, so we're back. So the educational topic that each one teach one, the mo you know, that I have today was based off of me walking into Stater Brothers and seeing 2 young brothers, you know, with their pants sagging. And I was like, and it's funny because, you know, that's the old people like, why you got your pants sagging? But now that I'm grown, I'm like, oh, it actually is kind of stupid to have your, like, it's different if your pants are sagging and it's like kind of halfway or quarter down your butt or whatever, length of pants, whatever. Because I sag too. When I wear sweats and shit, if I have shorts under, I sag too, just so my sweats will cover my ankle completely. You know, I like it to be baggy down there. Those are reasons to sag. But I got kind of annoyed because like his his pants started at the base of his butt, so it was cupping his butt. And he was wearing briefs, not boxers, so you saw the entire shape of his ass, and it was gross. Like, there's white men and Asian men in front of me who like genuinely do not want to see a man's ass, because all you have to picture is the color, and you're seeing a full ass. It was all ass. And I was just like, man, I want to tell this boy to pull his pants up, but whatever, because I sound stupid. Then I walk outside, and I'm like, this young brother is driving what all these young brothers are driving. Goddamn Challenger, Charger, whatever the fuck cars are. And the reason why that's a problem is because everybody who gets this goddamn car, one, gets it like to get bitches. But two, they all have like the highest monthly payments. I'm still trying to meet someone who has normal monthly payments with that car. The lowest I've met with that car is $500. And I'm like, that is not a luxury vehicle.
It's not expensive depending on the one that you get. If you get the one that's like the top of the line one, I forget what it's called, but it has the little B on it, and it has like a special engine in it. How much is that one? That one is expensive. I have to see, but I saw that one at the car show, and it's pretty pricey. Like, that would make sense.
The typical one is like what, 40, 45?
It was like 35.
Oh, see, and then it's like you're paying $500. That means your credit
Hellcat. That's what it is.
The Hellcat. Okay, how much is that MSRP?
That one's $59.
Damn, so the most expensive one is $59.
Yeah.
God damn.
But that's base.
And you know it's funny because people are getting the Hellcat because they want to be the nigga with the Hellcat.
Yeah.
Or they want to be that person. That shit got
like 600 horsepower or some shit.
Yeah, and they all drive crazy. They all get in stupid accidents, whatever.
But the mileage is trash.
They'll be paying like $500 to $800, and it's like, you guys, if you ever get offered a car payment super high, it's because you shouldn't have the car. They're literally telling you we're charging you this much because you can't afford it.
Because we don't trust.
That you can pay it, so we're gonna charge you an ass up the ass for it. So your payment should be reflective of how much they trust you. If you get a luxury vehicle and they're like, oh, your payment's $320 something, niggas, because they trust you. Because a luxury vehicle is a luxury. It should be costing where the Hellcat is costing for people $500, $800. A lot of people are paying $800, or even people who go and get like a Mercedes when they got no business getting it. So then their payments are goddamn $600, $700, $800. That's a reflection. Like, you shouldn't be getting that shit. And it's stupid because people are doing it just to look cool or on a materialistic level. And it's like, no, you should be doing it because you need transportation. Like, you need to get somewhere. I had a 94, then I had a 2004, and that 2004, the tires popped every other month because the axle was fucked up. That shit was horrible. I genuinely did not feel safe in that car. And so when I got my new car, shit was necessary. Plus, let me talk about this article because there were some things where they're even telling you how much to put down and stuff. So they're saying, how much should you spend on a car? This is moneyunder30.com. Probably not as much as you might think. So you can spend between 10% and 50% on your gross annual income on a car if you're buying a car.
Oh, I was like, what? 50%?
Yeah, that's a big range. They even say that. That's a big range. Heart attack. We know. So if we had to set a rule, it would be this. Spend no more than 35% of your pre-tax annual income on a car. Lower is better, but we recognize personal finance is personal. Yep. So you can limit how much money you spend on your car by saving up and paying cash and buying a used car. And then if you do both of these things, you'll save thousands of dollars, clearly. There are car affordability calculators, so you can find out your maximum payment. There's things you also want to factor, like, is your car a trade-in? How's your credit? Credit is a huge thing. People walk in with the shittiest credit.
That dictates your payment a lot.
I had someone get a car that was half the value of my car, and their payments were $125 more because their credit was garbage. And it's like, huh? That's stupid. Like, they're literally showing you that you're failing. This is when you go online. What I've did until I was 24, get a car that's $2,000. My first car was 2 or 3. My second car was 2 or 3. And that's where you need to keep it at until you have money, because people are running out and getting cars that they cannot afford. It does not make sense. And you should not be getting a car to where in 5 years down the line, if you lose your job, you can't afford your car anymore.
But in 5 years, you should have paid it off.
Right, hopefully. That's also true. It's different with lease of finance, but it depends on like your deal.
And I think when you get the car, you have to think about like where are you going to be in the future, and like, do you have a fallback plan? Do you have money saved up? Right. Like, what if you lose your job? Are you going to be able to afford your car payment? Because like realistically, there's this line in this song. It's like these people out here, they get a car and miss a payment. You should never be in a position to miss a car payment. Like, if you were ever, like, going to be in a position to miss a car payment, then don't get it. Like, go buy a car where you could pay for it full face value, or at least get a car that's, like, $7,000 so the payment on that won't be that expensive.
So low, you know? And it's like, even you saying that, I was like, wow, it's never even crossed my mind missing a payment.
Yeah, no. Like, I pay my shit early as fuck.
It's like, ain't nobody finna take my shit. No, bitch. Like, what? No. Like, no. Plus, the amount of naps I've taken in my car, that shit is a second home, goddamn near.
Exactly.
I've taken too many naps in my car. Too many at this point. So, no. One thing I did when I got my car was I didn't have to put as much down as I thought. So, that money went to my first year. But I always have my car not paid off. Like, I'm not going to give you my money because shit can always go wrong. But in my mind, in my savings account, my car is paid off for the next year. So have 12 months worth of payments. And then me and Ashley have said in the past, we don't pay the minimum. I round up, you know. So I pay like $75 more a month. And it's like, so I have that amount times 12 saved up. And it should always be like that because, one, that's emergency money. I always have said that on multiple episodes, emergency money. You should always have emergency money. But also, if shit goes down, you lose your job. You still, especially for people who lose your job and don't get unemployment checks. Like if you got fired because you did some fuck shit, at least you still have
stealing shit.
Yeah, you stealing, and they're like, oh, we ain't paying you goddamn unemployment. No, you're out. Peace. And you know that you are not gonna get paid anymore.
But I know somebody who had did some wild shit and they still got unemployment. So I don't know if it's like a case by case.
It is. Oh, it is.
But it was some wild shit and they still got unemployment.
It's definitely.
It's definitely a gamble. But what would you say for people to do where like they can't afford a car at all, but they need transportation?
That's exactly the situation my cousin is in. And what did he have to do? Go to work. He had to take the bus and go to work and take the bus and go to work until he can afford it. Just like other people, there's people who are lazy. Like I had a friend in undergrad of college who would miss class because he didn't want to take the bus because the bus took too long. You don't have a car. That's not for you to be
campus every day.
But he had to take like connections. His shit was far. Ooh. But that doesn't fucking matter.
Nah.
You figure it out.
Ooh.
And it's like this person was, it also is a level of responsibility because the person was irresponsible enough to not have the money saved up because it's like you could have even Ubered to a certain bus stop so that your connections are less.
Or like got a bike.
Yeah, there's no, this person lives super far, like from the school.
No, you could like rode a bike to a bus stop.
Oh, and left your bike. Oh, yeah, and then put the bike on the bus.
That's what Rashad used to do to come see me because he didn't have a car. He would ride his bike to the bus.
Hook it on the bus.
He would get on the bus and then go to like some connection downtown, get on another bus, and then ride or like the stop was across the street from my house, so he'd just get the bike off and then come to my house. Like,
yeah.
And when I realized he did, I was like, oh, nigga, you love me.
It's a level of responsibility. Some people don't have that level of responsibility.
And like that level of humility. Some people think they're too good for things like that. But I mean, like, if you got to ride the bus, you got to ride the bus.
It is a level of humility.
And I know when I went to, and that's another reason why Rashad rode the bus to see me is because, like, when we went to UCR, you got to ride the RTA for free if you swiped your ID card. So, like, you could look into programs that your school has. But, like, for people that are not in school and you're out of school and you don't have a car,
you should get the monthly bus pass, get the discounts.
Or hopefully you live in a city where near a city where public transportation is lit like that. Because not every city has public transportation that's reliable like that.
The reason is I know that they're like at the school I work at, these kids are high schoolers. They provide them bus passes. So these kids who are missing class for whatever reason,
it's like,
don't want to. You guys are full of shit, you know? But it's like there's people going through a lot who are getting there where they need to get. So to me, it's like there's almost no excuse. Obviously, there are little things that happen that make it impossible. But it's like you have to be responsible. Like my cousin, back to him, like he had to walk. He walked to work. His job wasn't far. So he would walk to work, walk back. And minimum wage, $12, no tips, you know, just working, school, whatever. Saved like $3,000 on his own, and then he got a scholarship. So it's like his tuition's already covered for when he starts school. So all he has to worry about is he's still gonna get financial aid, obviously. So he can take that $3,000, put $1,000 in for the car, so now you can get a $4,000 car. Put $1,000 to $2,000 away for insurance and repairs.
Oh yeah, because you have to have insurance before you drive off the lot.
Yeah, you know, like, so it's like you have to be responsible, and there's ways around it. So,
and like I always think, like, worst comes to worst, because my Mercedes is literally just for luxury. There's like no reason for me to have that car. Got it just because I want to, right? If I was ever in a situation where I got fired from my job and was like, oh shit, I would take that motherfucker back. I will take that shit back. I don't give a fuck. Like, it will just go back.
Yeah.
Take it back.
At the same time, don't ever put yourself in a situation where you ever will give a car back.
But, like, worst comes to worst, if, like, you have to, take that shit back. Don't let it get repoed. Because I feel like taking it back is better than getting it repoed, and you have a repo on your credit score.
Is it a repo? Do you get a fine or anything if they repo?
No, it goes into collections, and that goes on your credit. Mm-hmm. So like, worst comes to worst, just take it back.
Give it back. And that's happened to someone I've known too, where they got a car, got a car, and their parent had to take that shit back because their parents started paying for it. No, because their parents started paying their payments for 3 months because they couldn't afford it. The parents said, "Fuck that, give the fucking shit back. I'm not paying for it anymore."
The thing is, with my parents, I know they'd be like, "No, Ashley, I'll pay it." I'm like, "For why?" Like, no, because they've done that for my siblings, like literally all my siblings.
Oh yeah, no. Yeah. I mean, but hey, if they have it, that's different,
right?
Also,
these niggas do.
There's a lot of calculators online, so you can really calculate your shit. Like, I remember before I got this apartment, I was like, how much rent is acceptable? Like, where am I? And they give you a range. They give you from green to red. Like, this is how much. Green is like, boom, you're good. You're gonna have so much disposable money. Red is like, you can afford it, but the disposable money part isn't there. So you also want to use calculators. Same with your car. So they said the auto loan calculator, the buy versus lease calculator. That's a really good one to see the long-term cost difference between leasing or purchasing a new vehicle. Because I'm like, if I wasn't paying more than my minimum, I probably would be like outrageously paying more for my lease. But I think I actually brought it down because of that. I don't know how I did it, but I paid off half my car in 2 years. But I think that's
paying more.
That's just paying more because I'm not thinking about it. I'm just like, boom, boom.
Because my other car, I was like at the point of paying it off. I was going to pay it off in like 3 years, but then my parents stepped in and it was like, oh, we'll pay off the rest of it.
Yeah.
And I was like, thank God.
So make sure, it's like always make sure that you can afford your shit.
Yeah.
Don't be like people I've known, like people who've lost their car, who just assume that the world was going to work out.
My heart would hurt if my car was like ever repoed. I would never let it get repoed. I would honestly just take that shit back.
And some people just have this mentality that the world will figure shit out for them.
No, honey.
Yeah, I just know
your credit will be fucked up and you'll never be able to own anything.
Yeah, and then your credit will
for
be
like
shot.
7 years,
and then
over a car.
So their tip is, first of all, a new car loses 9% of its value the second you drive it off the lot. And I was just telling my students about that.
Unless it's a Tesla. Those shits don't lose value.
They don't depreciate?
No.
Really? Are you sure?
Not as much. Well, like not as much as a gas car.
That makes sense.
They don't need maintenance.
Yeah, so not as much.
Cars literally don't need maintenance.
Every single car depreciates, but by different levels.
Teslas just have it better.
Yeah, because
rate.
They don't need any. I don't believe that. They probably need maintenance.
They don't.
I don't believe
my parents' car don't need no maintenance.
They just got it like 2 seconds ago.
But they told me.
I don't believe
you don't need what you gonna maintain besides changing out like a battery every couple of years.
You guys, no.
Like they don't need oil changes. They don't have oil. They don't need.
I'm gonna write that down and bring it up next week because you cannot drive a Tesla and never get maintenance. That doesn't even sound right coming out of my mouth.
Like maintenance, as in like oil changes.
Maintenance is like a huge realm of things that could be happening.
Yes, but they don't need oil changes. You don't need to think about timing belts. You don't have to think about transmissions. Okay. You don't have to think about like a lot of things that you do for a car that runs on gas.
So they need less maintenance.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay, that makes more sense.
In my head, that's no maintenance.
So they don't devalue as fast and they don't require as much maintenance, but they still devalue and they still require maintenance because everyone would own a Tesla if that was the case.
You've seen how many are on the road recently.
Yeah, but everyone does that with every car. I've seen my car on the road like 5,000 times. By the end of the first year, most cars lose 19%. This is why buying used is the way to go. I'm not a used car person, but when I was at the lot, they did recommend this this used car to me, and it wasn't a nice car. It wasn't nothing wrong with it. It was just I wanted the car I wanted because my brother told me to get the car I got, But at the same time, like used is really good because you're not paying as much. You have to remember that. If you don't have money, don't fucking blow it. Like, it's really simple, but, you know, we're going to repeat it because in school they didn't teach us this. At the school I'm working at now, the kids are actually learning finance, which I'm like, thank God. Like, you guys really need to know this shit. And when I teach them and I'm, like, going over the reviewing with them, I'm like, this question you're going to need for the rest of your life. This question you're going to know for the rest of your life. Like, depreciation. I told a student, you're going to know depreciation for the rest of your life. Inflation, another one. You're going to know the word inflation for the rest of your life. So some of this shit is really fundamental. Okay. And then also, if you need to sell the car before the loan's paid off, you'll have to come up with the difference between the car's value and the balance on your car loan. That's the same thing with a house. So it's not like a big thing. Ditto if you get into an accident and the car gets totaled. Ooh. That's trash.
Fuck no.
That's super trash.
But what if you have gap coverage?
What do you mean, like?
Gap coverage is when your car gets totaled and they pay for that balance.
Oh, well, then that's why gap coverage exists.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, that article, the way it phrases it.
Yeah,
like, it makes it seem like no matter what, you're going to have to pay that.
Yeah, it would make sense that gap coverage was made by insurance companies just so that they can get paid for that, too. Because insurance companies will find any way to get paid because it's just like any other like prepayment like that. You pay for some shit that isn't happening, and then it only works if it happens.
And you pay for it the whole year.
And then say you don't get an accident for 5 years, you just pay for 5 years of nothing. But I mean, hey, if something does happen, you're covered. So that's the benefit of it. But I did look up a quick Tesla article. They said Tesla has quietly changed their maintenance policy from regularly scheduled service to an as-needed model, which is good, according to its car maintenance page. Before, it called for recommended service every 12 months or 12.5 miles or 25,000, depending on the model you get. Now, however, it simply says your Tesla does not require annual maintenance and regular fluid changes, and instead recommends periodic servicing of things like brake fluid, air conditioning, and filters. This makes a certain amount of sense as electric vehicles are much less maintenance intensive than regular vehicles. That's because electric motors have no fluids nor the thousands of moving parts of a gas motor. They also lack transmissions, packing, just a single reduction gear. On top of that, much of the braking is done by a regenerative system that recharges the batteries, reducing wear and tear on the brake pads and lines. That's dope. Finally, Tesla's app keeps track of service issues and can notify the owner when repairs are needed. So yeah, it depreciates slower, and your repairs are even slower now from when Tesla first came out. Now you're even doing less maintenance, which is nice. And that's why my sister said she was going to get it and the 30,000. I was like, that car is less than the car I have, and it's like her credit. She showed me her credit score, and I was like, she has the exact credit score I had when I got my car. So I was like, girl, your payments are about to be low. Like, you're about to be lit. You just have to have the money for insurance and all that stuff.
But what about her credit history? Because that plays into it too.
She does have a limited credit history. Yeah. So, but when I got my car, I didn't have an extensive. I had one credit card,
right?
Yeah.
And that doesn't, like, how does that even affect your credit?
Was my name even on apartments before my car? I think I had co-signers back in college because I got my car after undergrad. So I'm like, my credit history was short, and I had my identity.
But you also got it on the student plan.
No, that was a discount. That was just a rebate.
Oh, but didn't you have to do it like in a certain amount of time?
Yeah, to get the rebate.
Okay.
Yeah. So
that probably helped too, though.
My car was still more than her car. Like, it only took $5,000 off my car. You know. And so, well, it didn't take $5,000. The rebate took $1,000 off. Then there was another rebate just at that time that took $1,000 off, and then my parents negotiated $3,000 off, and so I got $5,000. That's still worth more than the cheap Tesla. So it's like her payments are gonna be low, and her credit's the same. I didn't have my identity had gotten stolen when I was 19, so I still had even though they were settled and paid off, you still have it on your record for 7 years. So one just got off my record, and one gets off my record in a couple of months, you know.
That's
so
unfair.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
That's fucking unfair.
Yeah, someone opened a credit card. Even the credit card I had at that time had to go through a whole process because that person had opened that credit card when they stole my identity. So they thought that I was the person coming back, you know. So they had to do all this in-depth thing to make me be able to use my own credit card.
Like, I'm him. I'm her.
Right. I am Nina. I'm not Yusef. I don't know who stole my thing. I know it's kind of racist, but whatever. I'm like, how did my identity get stolen?
You did one of those flip your money things. That's what you told me.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. And now I get so mad. I need to start reporting them instead of continuing to scroll.
I just block them.
I need to report them.
They'll tag me and stuff, and I just block them.
Yeah, someone tagged me in that shit today, and I deleted it. Yep. I'm going to start reporting all those motherfuckers because it's like you guys are robbing people. And
turn 300 into 3,000.
Who's trying to make $1,000 fast? And I was 19. That was almost a decade ago.
You was like, me, bitch.
I was like, nigga, I'm in school, and I ain't got no money. Okay, shit. Ain't nobody helping me financially.
That's fucked up because they made you have even
less money.
Like,
well,
damn.
Did it affect my money?
I don't know if it affected your money, but like
it affected my credit score. It affected my ability to do things with my credit because my credit was trash. I think my credit was the late 500s.
I think the lowest I had was a 500.
Yeah, I remember this girl would joke. She'd be like, "My credit score is 2." Like obviously you can't have it, but she's saying her credit score is trash, and I'm like, that's just funny. But a few more things. The term of your car loan should be no more than 4 years. The longer the term of your loan, the more interest you pay. The longer your loan term, the longer you'll have to meet the lender's insurance requirements, which often means higher rates. Plus, by the end of 4 years, your car will have lost a lot of its value, and you won't want to still be paying it off. Especially for people who want to sell it. Like me, it's like I'm never gonna get rid of any of my cars because why the fuck did I get it? To pay a white van? No. Like I'm keeping my car, you know? But there are some people who want to like trade it in. I know leasing is different. This is specifically focusing on purchasing and financing. And so I can maybe in the future look up like, oh, how should you be planning your leasing stuff? Because I know that's important too. And I leased my car, not to give it back. I'm gonna keep it, but I don't know a ton about that. So I'll definitely look that up because that's important for me to know too. Your total car payment, which is your interest, your principal, and your insurance, should not exceed 10% of your gross income. That's actually really good. So say you make, out of college, most people are making about 45, 55. In California.
33.
That's true.
It's 33. I just read an article.
The average? 33.
It's 33.
Oh my God.
It's low as fuck.
You know what's really sad? Some of these students, their household income is $16,000.
That means like their parents work at a warehouse or something.
$16,000 for 4 people in the family.
Yeah. People be real poor.
The government needs to really help because that was when I saw that.
They just passed the bill to raise the wage to 15. Remember how last week I was saying that it was proposed? They actually signed it into a bill, but it still has to pass into a law.
Is that California or Fed?
That's the government.
Federal government?
United States government.
Okay, so the federal government.
Congress.
The only thing is California is going to hit 15 anyway. It's just that they go every year. So this year was 12. So next year is 13. Year after that's 14. Year after that's 15. So I know the federal and municipal is different. Municipal is state, you guys, just in case you know. Federal is the United States. And so, I mean, that's good. I just think that they're going to turn around and make shit more expensive. That's the only fear that I really have.
I mean, shit's going to keep getting more expensive anyway.
Yeah, and it's like California. It'd be different if you lived in like Kentucky or something, or even fucking Atlanta. Like Georgia is fucking good. The 20/4/10 guideline is a guideline. If you don't have the cash for 20% down and you can't take the bus until you save some up, then put down less. And please buy used. If the only way to get your monthly payment down to 10% of your income is to extend the life of the loan, then do it. But consider a cheaper car first. These are really good tips. Shop around for car insurance. Like, I thought my car insurance was going to be high as shit. My car insurance is low as fuck. And, you know, so you're going to need to shop around. Also, if your parents have a plan, they can just add you on, especially if they've been with their company for a long time. They can add you on, and yours will be lower just because you're with your parents' plan. And then, you know, pay your parents or make an arrangement.
Unless you have, like, a DUI or something.
Yeah, if you have a DUI, you're fucked. Avoid DUIs. Like, they give DUIs out like crazy in California. In Georgia, they don't give them. The police don't even bother you out there. People drive super crazy and stuff, and there's no issue. Sorry, my dog. Bradley.
Yeah, I thought he was going to start breaking.
Be quiet.
Relax, bro.
Be quiet. Okay. And that's about, let's see. Yeah, that's just the main idea. So I just want to help people out because a lot of people do get that car, like that Charger, that Challenger, and, you know, and they're just like,
trying to be
hot shit. Let me get the hose and shit. But then you end up having no money. So it's like, plan it out really well. Plan it, like I always say, plan it out to where if you lose your job, you still can pay for your car. Because I know people have rent too. Some people don't. You know, in California, a lot of people live with their parents. Super normal. You know, and so it's like, if you don't have rent and it's just, or even New York, where it's like you don't need a car. Well, it depends on where you live in New York. Yeah. Like, but it's like, plan your bills out. Don't put yourself in a position where you really will be struggling. You're not supposed to be struggling.
Or overusing your credit card. And that's what people do too. Like they'll get an expensive car and end up using their credit card a lot.
Oh my God. And that's so sad because those same people have ran up their credit card.
Yeah. So. I was thinking of something, but I was like, I don't know if it's a good idea. Like, because I was like, what if I pay my car note with my credit card? But you know how they be charging like 20 something fucking dollars, but then pay it off. I'm like, that will help build my credit in two ways, but then it'll also get me, like, it'll be more.
You mean pay off your credit card?
No, like it'll help me build my credit. Like,
no, you said pay it off.
No, like I meant pay my monthly payment, but then pay off my credit card, you know, like before interest hits on that. But I'm like, I don't know how good of an idea that is. I was like, I need to research it first, but I was thinking about it because I was like, I'm trying to think of more ways to build my credit because I want like an 850.
That's true. Yeah. And it's like, yeah, credit cards do charge that fee, but
it'd be like $17.
If it builds your, well, at the same time, there's probably other ways to build your credit history that don't even include that. Because I did read something about that. Like, I don't remember it off the top of my head, but there are little other things you could do, like get another credit card.
Yeah. And I'm trying to think too, like, how does like paying your car payment early help you? Because I always pay mine early.
It doesn't.
Yeah, and that's why I'm like, there's really no point in doing it. Yeah. Besides the fact is like, I already have allocated that money. Right. Like, I already know that money's gone. And I know what I have left in my bank account.
Yeah, it's like a personal benefit because
I just don't like the stress of bills. I feel like every time I get a bill, I pay that shit right away.
Yeah, it's. Just take my money. That's why every time I get paid, I'm like, it's gone.
Yeah, I'm not even excited.
I got somewhere it could go. Even if it's my savings, it's like, it ain't for me.
Right. The only time I know it's for me is like when I'm on call and I get my on-call check. And I'm like, oh, okay. All right. Got a little bit of spending money.
Yeah, disposable income or discretionary income, whatever they call it. But yeah, you know, let us know what you thought. Even let us know if you fucked up. Because it happens. And we'll try to help. So just so you know, you can find us on Apple.
Oh, bitch, you got to look at God.
So my look at God.
Ain't grateful?
I talk to God all the time.
Right.
God knows.
Talk to him every day.
What is my look at God? I have one, but I don't even want to say it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say my big one. You want me to go first?
Yeah.
Okay. Look at God that I did my run through of my capstone presentation, and it went well. And so like we got tips from the professor because he told us like it wouldn't be fair for us to do like a dry run, like just do our capstone presentation the first time and then be asked questions by the other people that are going to be sitting in on it and not having like the exposure to what may be asked. So yeah, we did that. It went well. I have to correct a few things for my group because there's some foreigners in it. You know how that go. So yeah, that was good. That was the highlight of my week, I guess, because I was a little stressed about it.
Yeah, my look at God is, I mean, I'm always like, whenever bad things happen to me, the first thing I do is thank God. Like, that's literally the first thing I do. Every time anything negative, I'm like, thanks God.
Yeah, I always try and find that positive.
You already got, yeah. It's like, I'm always just like, thank you, God. You know, life is so good. I really have nothing to complain about, so my effort is to just not complain. Yeah, if my back hurts, I'm going to talk about my back hurting, or if I'm sleepy. I'm going to say I'm fucking sleepy. But that is tied into my look at God. Is like, I work a lot and I am really tired, but I think the fact that, and it's like, you don't necessarily have to be Christian. Mine is just related to God today. The fact that when I do feel like an extensive amount of like, tiredness or like back pain or like, oh, I just have a lot of stuff I need to do. It's like, I always go to God first. And so that has allowed me to not be negative through all of this. And there's so many times I could have, like, I've noticed that there's so many times I could have, and 0% of the time I was. And it's like, I like that just because I feel like the devil is the person who makes us like complain and be negative all the time. And it's like, I'm trying to be like as far away from that as possible. Even when I was like super tired, I remember called my friend, cried for 3 seconds, which was also a problem, you know, like, why the fuck are you crying for so short? But, and like my friend kind of just like got my head back, like, you know, this is God's plan for you. So you just got to live it out, you know? And so, and you know, I'm calling someone who's in fucking Korea, you know, picking up the phone for me, you know, it's like, so thankful enough to have a friend who's like, yeah, I'm 17 hours off of where you are, but I'm gonna pick up the phone and I'm gonna root for you, and like I'm gonna always have your back. So I feel grateful. And if this person doesn't have social media or anything at all, so they'll probably never hear this. I think they do listen to the podcast, actually. No, I definitely text him I loved you like right after that. I was like, you are so great. Oh my God, I love you so much. Like, and so they know. They always know. Whenever I compliment them, they're like, man, shut up, man. You know, one of my best friends that I've known since I was like 16. So looking good. This is only preparing us for so many more greater things in the future.
Because they coming. Loading.
So excited. And so now, just so you know, you can find us on Apple Podcasts. Just search Young and Getting It Podcast. There's no G at the end of Getting. Please subscribe, rate, and review. We're also on SoundCloud.com/WeAreYAGIP. Please follow and comment on there. And we're on YouTube. Just search Young and Getting It Podcast with no G at the end of Getting. Please subscribe and comment on there. We're also on Spotify, Google Play, Stitcher, and Pocket Cast. You can find all of that stuff on our website and all that stuff. So don't act like you can't find it, because it's findable. Okay.
You just click a little link. Okay. And you can also wait. Were you done? Yes. Yep. Okay. I always get like so lost in it because we get so animated, and I'm like, wait, is it my turn yet?
I don't even think about it. It just comes out.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's just like.
And you can find us on Instagram and Twitter at YAGI_podcast, or you could go to our Facebook, which is facebook.com/YAGIPOD. We also have our website, which is www.weareyagip.com. And then, you know, you could always contact us on our website, or if you want to do it the other way, the harder way, you can hit us up on our email, Ashleyandninapod@gmail.com, or text and call our Google Voice number, which is 323-486-3811. We should do like a live call-in or something. That would be pretty cool.
We do need to do that
Like,
soon.
we'd like really have to plan it and do it.
Yeah.
Maybe episode 100. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because that gives us time.
That could be like our transformation. After episode 100, we start doing live calling.
Like, we real bitches now, nigga.
Yeah, like, call us. Lines are open.
But yeah, thank you.
Bye.
Enjoy, y'all.
Yeah.